Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. No spring allergy today, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. It's
I
been,
I was on Tuesday's stream. I kept watching. I'm like, oh man, I am so sorry that she's just dipping.
and the
Oh,
makeup does not make it any easier.
no, absolutely not. Yeah.
No, any like mistake and like black would be all over the fucking
Uh,
place. It's not something you can easily hide on
no, especially not with camera in your face and everything else. But so today we're going on with continuing our series on setting
Yes.
up a new company and going and getting things from scratch, from the importing items and vendors and customers and GL accounts and setting up all the posting groups and making sure that everything's working and set up properly. Today we're kind of at the final step to get everything ready to go and ready to actually be used. Last week, or not last week, Tuesday, um, we went ahead and did some testing to make sure that everything had been set up right. We tested some sales orders and posting the sales invoice, posting the payment for that sales for the customer. Also doing the purchasing side of things with the vendor, going ahead and posting a purchase order, post invoice, and actually paying that vendor at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Did come across a couple of things that we hadn't set up, and things that were BC was like, bad. You didn't have this set up, which was good. I'm glad that we went ahead and did that, and we had everything tested, and we did the copy company, so we weren't doing it in our prod environment.
Well, isn't this
Um,
the purpose of this stream? To figure
yeah,
out how to do things better in a tutorial way. Teaching
yeah.
someone like me who doesn't have any clue what I'm doing.
Oh no, you have more of a clue than you give yourself credit for. Yeah,
I'm a
you're good.
newbie until I can teach.
Okay, okay, maybe, but nah, you know more than what you give yourself credit for. Anyway,
Yes.
uh,
Anyways.
so today what we're going to do is we're going to do the final step. We're going to go ahead and import our bank accounts, the bank account balances. We kind of did that earlier, where we went ahead and we did just one journal line entry to go ahead and set up the bank account itself, because um, no, or am I getting myself confused? Maybe we didn't do that. No, we didn't do that. We set up the bank account. We didn't actually go ahead and import the balance. That's what I was, saying.
No, but we did do a line in a Gen journal, which we balanced out to a bank account instead of like a GL account and making a second.
Yes, we did that yesterday as part of our payment testing, or
Ex-
no, or Tuesday as part of our payment testing. Today we'll actually import the actual bank balance and
Lovely.
information there. So that's what we're going to do there. We're also going to go ahead and import, as Jeremy requested, we're going to import our balances for customers via a document number, which is, and I'll show you I was going to show the difference between doing like a general, like here's the opening balance versus a document number opening balance, and go ahead and do that for both our customers and our vendors. And finally, we're going to go ahead and import some of the chart of some of the chart of accounts. Um, since our chart of accounts is a little bit large and is used very specifically for a larger company, which we're going to get to. Um, we're not going to be importing everything, but we will be going ahead and importing the kind of the important stuff, like making sure that we've got vendors and customer, their balance, their account, GL account balance in there, and in their in there properly. So that's the goal for the day. We will then come back next Tuesday, and I don't know. We got to see what other things we want to do and other things we want to set up. We do have things like approval process that we might want to go ahead and do, and things like maybe reminders. when like customer sales reminders saying, hey, you know what, you went ahead and you bought something from us and you haven't paid us yet. So that could be one of the couple of things that we could go ahead and continue as a setup to go from there. And then we'll see what else we can do. So, but so first thing we're going to do then, with going ahead and doing this, we are going to go ahead and uh, oh, I wanted to talk about as part of this double entry, kind of like what's double entries. Um, when we go ahead and import things like the customers and vendors, we need to make sure that we are using the correct GL accounts in order to do so. And I'll point this out when we actually go ahead and we do this. If we don't, there are times where we can go ahead and have once we import the actual chart of accounts, that will go ahead and generate a double posting, because we'll go ahead and we'll be importing it as, okay, this is the customer and vendor sales and purchase side of things, but we still have the actual GL accounts for that as well. So I'm going to show how you can do that without going ahead and having those double postings, and
Mm-hmm.
so you don't actually have to do a reversing entry as well. But there's always a way that we can go ahead and do a reversing entry in case in your setup or in the setup for this particular company has to be done that way. So without any further ado, I noticed that I wasn't showing my screen. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Hopefully this will be a little bit better too. So first thing we're going to do for this time is we are going to go ahead and do all of this stuff is done for the general journal. Gen journal. I was hoping. There we go. And the first one that we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and do the opening balance for the bank account. And we can do that simply by going open instead of bank account type. We are going to go ahead and use bank account, and we will select the bank account that we want to use here. Then over here, there's if you haven't seen BC before and you're tuning in just as a, hey, we're thinking about it, BC, and I didn't specifically mention this when we did the payments, but BC does have the ability to go ahead and call what's called a single line entry rather than a double line entry. In account, and sometimes people go ahead and they go, oh, well, wait a minute, we can do all of this online because we have this balance account type fields that will automatically create that second entry for us for accounting purposes. This is the same as kind of doing this as before we is doing it like this. Still opening balance, and then so we'll do a GL account, and we should look up what the GL posting is. So if we go here and we look down here for our GL posting accounting group, remember how we were talking, Jeremy was talking about the posting groups with that. Remember too, this error message is basically saying, hey, wait a minute, remember, you're not supposed to use this account directly. In order to go ahead and make sure that everything is passing through the bank account properly, we shouldn't go ahead and do this. But in this case, since we are going ahead and we are setting up the initial balance, we have to turn that on. So let's back out here really quick and go to chart of accounts and go to search. Here's our main cash account, and we will turn direct posting on so we can go ahead and actually post this. Back out and go back to our Gen journal and up. Yep. So now if we go ahead and they said now it'll let us go ahead and do this. So this type of account posting is the same as going ahead and just doing this. Oh, Would help if I had the right account type. So the first two is the same as doing it like this, like that. One line versus a 2-line entry. So, but how much money do you think, V, that we should have in this? Uh,
How much fluff banks should
yeah,
we have?
how much money do we have in our Floof Bank account?
I don't know. 100
Ah, 100. Wow, that's
million.
no, maybe maybe 100 million. Sure, it's only play money.
It's fluff bucks.
It's floof bucks, sure. Okay, so that's all that we really need to do here is we're going to go ahead and post this bank account info, this bank from this bank account type, bank account to the actual GL account so that we can get that opening balance in there. So we click post. Yep, and the general lines are successfully posted. So if we now go back to our chart of accounts and take a look at that, wrong thing. There, main cash account.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything in here, and that's correct. Because once we go ahead and import the actual chart of accounts, we'll need to make sure that we've got that 100 million posted to this particular account. But if we go back to our bank accounts, there's our 100 million that we posted in there.
100 million fluff bucks. Don't forget.
Fluff bucks. Yes, it's our own cryptocurrency, I guess. And this is the process that we'll use to go ahead and get the one side of the transaction, for lack of a better word, into all of these accounts for our customers and our vendors. We've already done the items. We did that previously, so we could actually have some item stock to go ahead and do that with. But we can now go ahead and do something like Gen Journal again. Oh, we almost forgot one very important thing. You might know what it is, V?
I don't know.
Yeah. We should turn off, make sure that we take that direct posting down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, it is again one of those things that is that we really don't want to have that on for the bank account links, because that way people can't go ahead and do what we just did and just add money to the bank account. Okay, so back to general journals. Another thing. If you guys are doing this as part of the process, and starting up, maybe saying, hey, you know what, we're going to start and do the cutover on the first of the financial year, or first of the of our new year, or fiscal year. I'm sorry, that's what
Breathe.
I was looking for. That's a good way of going ahead, and this is instead of doing everything on that day. BC does have what's called, under my settings, a work date. This allows you, if you change this allows you to go ahead and say, you know what, since we are going ahead and posting this for the 1st of May, because that's when our fiscal year starts, you can actually change the work date to be the 1st of May, and BC will treat that. We delete that. Let's see, do this. See, the tax date or the posting date has now been referred back to May 1st. So maybe that was your first day that you were going to go ahead and do these postings. It's a good way of going ahead and making sure that the system is always using that particular work day to go ahead and generate this. It's nice thing is that as soon as you log out and you log back in, it will go ahead and return that to the actual posting, the actual today's date. So just as a little thing there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next piece. Okay, underneath our is this under? Nope, it's under actions. The nice thing, one of the things that's good about where Microsoft has thought of here for the Gen journals is that if you are trying to using opening balances, you do BC has a report that you can run that'll generate everything that you need for that particular for doing either customer vendors or GL accounts to generate the journal for you. So, for example, I ran the customer report, and now it's given me, the opening balance, like for one for every customer in here. Uh-huh. And the document number. Well, you still have to go ahead and put in the document number, but we'll have the document number there. And it'll also go ahead and put in the balance account for you automatically. So that all you need to do is you could actually copy and paste this out to Excel if you wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
or go ahead and put it in, use a config package to pull this out and then put it back Um, in order to go ahead and get those customer balances. We're going to go ahead and just kind of do it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in as separate document numbers, because if we do it just as a open balance like this, that's going to give us one opening balance, or give us one balance per customer. Well, that's a perfect way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. How what many people though do would like to go ahead and at least have a document number that they can go ahead and link to when a payment comes in. So, for example, here I'm going to go ahead and do this. Uh, SI. Let's just give it a document number, and then we can go ahead and maybe do SI 35.
The what now?
I'm just making up document numbers,
Yeah,
really.
you sang what you were saying, and I didn't fully understand what you were
Oh,
saying.
well,
That's why I
this
asked.
is yeah. We
Yeah.
can do it. We can do it as several different ways. Oh, actually, I can do it as this way too. Open balance. Okay, so maybe we have a couple of customers that we have specific doc numbers that we want to go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
use. And if we do this, I can also say that, oh, wait a minute, this one has a 102, and they also have, when we get to the ledger entries this month, this will make a little bit more sense, I think. Let's do a new line here, and we will do this as okay.
As a side question, are we still working on the test environment, the test company we created, the copy company?
No. This is indeed our live company.
Oh,
We're not. Yep, good call though. I have made that mistake before.
so have I. I have done some purchase invoices in sandboxes before, and got really pissed because I couldn't see them anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least you did it in test rather than in live. So you can always redo them. Oh, okay, we can get rid of this one. I'm sorry, V. It sounds like the floofs are fighting.
Well, I saw one of them behind you. He was checking the bed.
Oh, he was checking out the bed. All right. Okay, so all right, so we have here, we got a document number. We have some other document numbers here. That is absolutely fine. Let's go ahead and make up some amounts. Um, let's see here. 15. Come on, you're going slow. Oh, there it goes. Oops. 61.31. 15. 1520. Man, since we only have, just let's see, what else do we got here? Now, I'm wondering why that's being really, Docker's being really slow evidently today. Okay, where are
At
you?
least it's cooperating.
It's at least cooperating, yeah.
It's cooperating.
Uh-huh.
Are those random numbers you're putting in?
Yep. And we'll just go down to about here, I think. We don't need to have all of these, have opening balances.
That's a lot of open balances.
Yeah, it's all right. It's play data that we can mess around with here. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think I can delete the rest of these. See, yeah, and honestly, you'll probably have some customers when somebody does this for real, they would probably have some customers that would not actually have any balances or anything else. So, okay, so we've got some just general opening balances. They don't have any, documents or anything else that they have. They don't have any sales orders or sales invoices outstanding. But we do have some customers here that do. And a couple of customers that have at least one each. And we got our GL accounts. This looks good. So if we post this now, yay, successfully posted. And that's just extra. It's trying to help us go ahead and say, oh yeah, you did this. Do you have any other documents to use? But now let's go ahead and go back to our customers and take a look. Now we have all of these nice opening balances that we have and are ready to go ahead and use. But if we notice here too, that, like, for example, if we go to this balance, we can see that this one has a document number. There's the original amount and the debit amounts. And it can go ahead, it says what the due date is and all of that in our ledger entries. But since for our 1001 customer, if we drill down on this, notice here that we have two document numbers. So that this way, if you do it by document number, if they have outstanding sales invoices, or once we get over to vendors purchase invoices, this allows us to say, okay, guess what? We have when we go to pay them, or if we're receiving payment, we can assign we can apply the entries properly so that you can see exactly what's going on and do the application process a little bit easier, and having a little bit more of a historical record. Does that make sense, V?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe what we'll do here next is that when we go ahead and do this, we can go and say payment journal. No, sort of like how we did it. Well, we don't want to do this really, because remember, we don't have any actual GL accounts yet in there. GL accounts. But if we do account type customer and one, if we go to this person and we say, well, wait a minute, we have applies to doc number, we can say, okay, well, wait a minute, we now have something that, this payment is going to the sales invoice 15612. So, and that gives us the ability to go ahead and match that up like that. So, all right, I'm going to delete this so I don't go ahead and accidentally post it, because that's going to make things look really weird later if we don't do it that way. Oh, same thing with vendors. Let's go ahead and get our outstanding journals. Gen journal. Oh, come on, if I can spell journal. It's right there. Still can't spell it. Okay, once again, we have our actions. We have our opening balances. Let's go ahead and do our vendor opening balance. And we can delete this line. BC tries to be helpful and it thinks that, whatever you're using there. Okay, so this is purchase invoice. And then we'll do another purchase invoice. And
shouldn't there be like an easier way to number them?
well, remember, these would actually be whatever the document number would be
And
for
because
that
we don't
particular
have
purchase.
documents.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you'd want to make sure that your paperwork is going ahead and, or your physical, well, if you had the physical paperwork, or your old system has the same data and purchases as your new one, as BC. So, I mean, yep, and then what you can do is just do opening balance for some of these other ones. Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and just delete out these because we don't have to have everything, doesn't have to have an opening balance. Okay, so once again, it did pull in our balance account number for us, which is good. And let's go ahead and make up some numbers. Oops.
Oh, you're going down to the point something something.
Why
Okay,
not?
we're going to decimals. Okay.
We can. I mean, we don't have to. We can be just negative.
No, it makes it more. It makes it look more real.
Yeah. I'm just really just typing on my numpad and just going, okay, here it is. We've got a charge for 51 cents.
What did they buy? A lollipop?
Evidently. We have any
So
more?
we
Nope.
have a floof buck. What
Huh?
is because for example you have US dollars that has pennies and cents and whatnot, smaller
Oh,
than the dollar. What is the smaller from
what's
the
the smallest thing for floof?
floof buck?
I don't know. A fleef?
Fleef?
if if the whole number is a floof, the partial would be a fleef.
Sure.
I don't know.
Why not?
You're the one who came up with it, so I think
I
it's your
did.
call.
There was a squirrel.
It was a squirrel moment.
It
Okay,
was
I
a
got it.
squirrel moment.
Okay. So, all right. So that should be good then. So let's go to home. Let's go to post. And now we've got should have our vendors in here too. And yes, and our vendors have balances. Yeah.
I love the
Now,
cooperation today.
uh,
Something's
um,
going on. Why is it going on so smoothly?
Now, one of the things that we want to we're going to take a look at here, this is our chart of accounts. I made a
Yeah.
filter on here to make sure that we still don't have anything actually in balances in our chart of accounts. If we did, we would have probably wanted to restore and figured out what happened there.
Okay.
But nope, everything is set up proper. It looks like everything's set up properly. We have our vendor balances in. We've got our customer balances in. We have our bank account in. The next thing to do is to go ahead and actually import our chart of accounts. And once again, too, the Gen Journal can help us with this. The thing is about it, though, is that when you go ahead, I'm going to delete this one. So we have a clean journal to work with. Some people will go prepare journal. When you do this one, it's going to generate for all of your accounts that
That's a lot.
would actually have like a balance, or that should
Okay.
have a balance. So many times what we suggest doing is going ahead and copying and pasting this out to Excel, or going ahead and saying, or once again, config package, you could do it as well, export it to Excel and then re-import it after you can go, so you can just mess around with it in Excel and it's a little easier to go ahead and view. But one thing that we need to go ahead and do is that with the accounts that we have to put in for our demo data, we have to put in accounts in for the bank
Mm-hmm.
and the vendors and the customers. And right now, because I put in a whole bunch of random stuff, random amounts, we need to go ahead and actually get like the total of that. So let's do this. If I go to vendors and if I click analyze here, that's going to go ahead and put this kind of into like a pivot table and stuff like for this. This is actually really kind of cool. But I want to get a balance of what this is. I want a sum of the balance. Can I do that? The filtered analysis filters. Nope. Because this is balance there, but I was just hoping to see if I could get like, just like, okay, here is the sum. Oh, hold on. Is this? Yes, the total right down here at the bottom. So currently for our vendors, we owe 9977, so 9,977 floof bucks and two fleef or whatever.
Why not? Please.
So when we go ahead and when we do this, we have to go. Well, what was our account that we used for? Oops, no, turn off analyze. What was the account that we used for this? And if we go to our vendor posting groups, here's our payables account. So for account, oops, that's starter accounts. Didn't want to do that. You know what? I should have done this a while ago. Here's Gen Journal. Let's just bookmark that so I don't have to keep looking, searching. I'm so used to just, searching for everything. So for our
It's
account
easier
here,
than going manual, going in, look for it, and memorizing when everything is.
yeah. So we can go ahead and just use opening balance here. Yeah. But for the account number, filter to make this opening. And over here, we're going to make sure that we have this in as 997702. Okay. Wonderful. So we can clear that filter. So we have to do that. Let's do the same thing to our customers. We'll click on analyze, and we were going to go ahead and just kind of filter this row group so that we can just see that. So this one is 3676.69. And turn off analyze, go back to here. Let's take a look at our customer posting group. And just to be on the safe side, make sure that we're doing this to the right accounts. Oops. Opening balance. And then here we need 3676.69. Excellent. Okay. All right. Finally, the last one we need is the bank accounts. And our 100 million that we put in.
I don't know why we're owing people 9,966 floof bucks when we have 100 million.
Oh yeah, why would we?
Hey,
Uh,
we need to have a word with the accountant.
yeah, I think we do. Gen Journal. Account number. Filter to here. Opening balance.
Hmm.
Oh, haha. We were being smart and going ahead and putting in the to make sure that we didn't have that didn't have the direct posting set. We should still need to. We have to undo that again.
Oh, we canceled that too early.
Yep, we did. But it's okay. In all honesty, I'd rather have it, have to
Yeah.
come back in here and do this rather than, have the issue of, it not happening. Okay, so, and then this is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right.
This is the only place I'm gonna see that number in a bank account, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Wish mine looked like that.
If yours was
Okay.
like that, you would not be working.
Uh-huh. Let's see here. Is there any other account that we probably want to make sure that we have in there and set up? Come on, can you just take? Um, let's see. I think we're actually. Oh, did we do vendors?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. We did it the first time. The first one we did was the vendor, then we did the customer, and then the
Okay, good.
bank
Just
account.
was
Just
checking.
make sure, but it's better to make sure.
Because that would have been. Did I not do the? Okay, hold on. Okay, that's that one. That should be for the customers. Well, let's just do this. Vendor. Oh, because that's the. Okay. That's this account. Da, 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 da. That's interesting. The reason why I'm saying this is interesting is because I have to admit I went ahead and I gave this a test over in our test company this morning, and I'm noticing. Oh no, that is the same payables account. Okay. So chart of accounts. Oh, I may not have actually. No, I did post that. Good. So if we say no, filter to not equal 0. Yeah. So general sales account. Total review totals. Okay. That might. So we need to have. I'm pretty sure this needs to go ahead and be in there as well in order to go ahead and do this. Now the sales tax and the purchase tax that came from when we were doing our postings to when our posting tests. But we do have our purchases. We do have our main cash account for the bank accounts. We have our receivables for the customers. So we might have that general sales account that we might have to add something in. But for right now, let's go ahead and say Let's make sure the amount is not blank. See, this is also one of the reasons why it's a better idea to go ahead and do this in Excel. So you can see everything a little bit better. Okay, so we have bank account, we've got our vendors, and we have our customers. So that should be okay. Let's give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, it's saying that we're out of balance by.
For a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, we also said that we had, that stuff in there. So let's go ahead and try to figure out where it went ahead and it checks where it's supposed to be going ahead and checking for us here. Uh, Normally it goes ahead and it sets up a lot of that information for us. I'm wondering if the balance account numbers
Mm-hmm.
may not have been there. Maybe that's what the problem is. Let's just check. I wanted to check something here. Yeah, because everything still does need to be balanced in and of itself. So, all right. So let's go ahead then and make sure that we got. Oh, yep. Yeah, we know. Okay. So these are the only ones that we have. This. Yeah. See, I think. Let's do this. Okay. So. Looking through stuff and notes. Okay, so wait a minute here. This is receivables. So this is okay. That's our bank account. That should be there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need. This is the sales account. Actually, you know what? I think that this is for our purchases. So this actually probably needs to be balanced by the 17. Yeah, that. And then this one would be balanced by our sales 32240.
Oh, you memorized them?
No. So, all right, let's try this then.
No.
Nope. I keep. Okay. Oh, tax. Oh, you know what it's trying to do? It's trying to do our tax. It's trying to do our tax stuff for it
But we
too.
did not set that up.
Oh, you know why? Because we don't have. I bet we don't have a blank.
Uh-huh.
Which would make sense in this particular environment for us doing this. So tax payments. So let's go ahead and do a blank, no tax.
But I thought we did have non-VAT.
Yeah, but remember, since we're going ahead and we're posting this without as a journal, it's
Uh-huh.
looking to see if it can find one of these combinations, and it's not. So that's the
Okay.
reason why it said, oh, well, wait a minute, you need to have a blank just to go ahead and do that. So you take a look. If we take a look at this error, tax
Mhm.
posting setup does not exist. that business posting group is blank, that product posting group is blank.
Okay.
So let's try it now. Let's see if that'll fix that problem. Yep, there we go. So
Okay.
now when we look at our chart of accounts and we filter on not blank, there we go.
We
So
have it.
everything looks like it's where it should be.
Yes.
Yes, yay. So there we go. All right.
Yay.
Yay.
Now what?
Now I that's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. Technically, at this point, we have an open and should be working system to go ahead and start going ahead and entering invoices or sales, well, invoices and or making sales, making purchases, and all of that should be good to go. Um, uh, huh. So I think that we're okay here. Maybe we can go ahead and get Jeremy to come in and go ahead and say, hey, you know, what else do we want to go ahead and kind of do? Because that actually did not take nearly as long as I was thinking it was.
I think we can convince him to log in for, uh, I think, 10 minutes. He has a meeting at 4.
Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't have to log in. I mean, it might just be it might just be a short day until we can go ahead and take a look, do some stuff. There are things like, there in the way that we've gone ahead and set up the system and done this, we don't have to back anything out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, which is sometimes what happens, especially with items, because of that, as we talked about earlier, that kind of double posting. When you go ahead and you import your chart of account information, it then goes ahead and makes a double entry. And then we would have to reverse that out as part of another journal. But the way that we did this, we don't have to worry about that, which is nice. Um, so I think that's good. But yeah, keep in mind that, especially with the tax setup and doing the importing of your tax accounts, talk to your accountant for that. There are too many scenarios where that is going to be a bit of a problem. And since every region, country in the United States, every state has their own requirements. Um, make sure you're talking to your accountants before going ahead and do that. We've been kind of ignoring tax for our stuff. So, but okay. Um, let's see if he wants to join us for a second to see or have an idea of.
He said he has a meeting at in 15, but he can dip in for a few.
Yeah, just dip in just to see if he has anything else that he thinks that we should go ahead and try to test or do. If he wants to, he doesn't have to.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, yay!
He's off. He didn't turn on his camera yet.
Uh,
Hello, Bob.
Hi.
Hi. So
Hi.
we kind of got through our opening balances and our chart of accounts. Not much in there, but we did go ahead and we did get it in.
Mhm.
Um, and that type of thing. Is there anything else that you think that we should go ahead and try to do to kind of round out the day, since that did not take nearly as long as I was expecting?
Well, that's a good thing,
That's a good
for
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for sure. Um, okay. Well, I mean, once you're at the point where you've got all your beginning balances in, and I'm going to cheat and check my own roadmap here because
Okay.
I write stuff down because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's always it's a thing.
Let's see, and you've already done some of the transaction side
Yep,
for
we did
writing
that in
up
test.
POs.
Yep, we
hmm
did that in test on Tuesday.
Yep. All right. And how about selling the inventory you got?
We did that as well.
Excellent. Good, good. And I know you did the vendor payments to actually generate payments.
That,
Did you do recording customer payments?
yes, we did.
Lovely. All
Also
right.
on Tuesday.
Well, phenomenal. Then the good thing is that you're starting to head towards the end of your first 20 hours sort of stuff.
Woo!
Look
So
it up.
that's a good thing,
Yes.
because that meant that so far in stream, this is episode 6. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you cruise through your first 20 hours in about 7 hours. So
Yeah. Um, Granted, some of the stuff too with sales quotes and sales orders and sales invoices, et cetera, on the purchase side, that's
mhm.
something that is, I know how to do a little bit better than the rest of it. But
Fair enough.
um, but yeah, I was thinking maybe for a stream on next Tuesday, maybe we
hmm
can go ahead and start setting up maybe approvals.
Yeah, that
Would
sounds
that
good.
be it?
So since Tuesday seems to be a pretty good crowd by numbers of folks tuning in and everything like that, I will probably join you on Tuesday and we'll roadmap the okay. Since you basically have finished the book,
Hmm.
now what?
Yeah, sure.
um, And for watchers who have stuck with us from the first episode, you'll recall we kind of had a roadmap of all the features that we'd want to be able to demo with the Play is the Thing. So on Tuesday's stream, we could do a recap and go through what is on our hit list of things that we should start to set up in this company, and validate we've got all the settings for, and be able to do all that fun stuff. I think that makes a perfectly logical, sensible next to do.
Yeah, I think so.
So, well, I saw a great tweet this morning that was, one of the kindest things you can do when you get to talking about all the things that you were supposed to talk about in a meeting is give people the time back. So maybe one of the things that we should do is take a lesson from that. And
Okay.
since that going over the roadmap of the days ahead feels like a lovely starting point for a stream, then maybe
Yeah,
we'll give folks the time back and we'll rejoin on Tuesday and say, here's what's next.
sounds good. I'm going to go back to
Um,
looking at APIs.
Yeah. And just to warn our lovely audience, so far we've been following along with the core essentials of your first 20 hours, where there basically is a roadmap and a step-by-step, click-by-click. We're about to go off the map, where
Yeah.
we're just going to have the wilderness and we're going to have a few waypoints down in functionality. We need to have demonstration areas around this, but we're not going to have any sort of step-by-step. So this is going to transition a lot from demonstration to we're going to figure this out, but we're doing it on camera, which is
Sure.
going to put Mark in the hot seat a
No,
little
no,
bit
no
here.
stress, Mark. It'll
We
probably
can
be
do
more
it.
of a,
We can finish 20 hours in 7. We can do anything.
yeah, sure. This, of course, means that if we do something like approvals, I got to remember how to set all of that stuff up. So it's going to be more of a, oh crap, how do I do this again type thing.
Okay. Well, I think what we'll probably also look for is knowing the things that we're going to tackle in each
Yeah.
of the different streams. We're going to put V on research project, and we're going to treat it a little bit like if you don't know where you're going and you're driving in a car, well, you make the person in the passenger seat look up the directions and read them to you.
Hey, I thought my job was to put on the music. Fine.
Hey, at least we all have GPS on our phones now, and it's not like pulling out the actual like navigator map from the.
50 meters.
I'm dating myself, aren't I?
Well, I used to call the role of the person in the passenger seat reading all the directions, this is the co-pilot job, but now that's kind of a swear word in our industry.
Okay. I know, Jeremy, you got another meeting, so go ahead. Go. I think we're just about ready to wrap up here anyway. So, anyway, enjoy, have fun, and
All
we'll
right.
see everybody next Tuesday at same bat time, same bat channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine.
Take care, everyone.